Hi guys, this is my February budget review, and I just want to start off by saying that February was an interesting month. I guess because I really kind of did not do my budget right. There were some things that I knew I wanted to do and I wanted to pay off, or not pay off, but pay for, that I did not include in my budget. And when I started off February, I really thought that I was going to have to just dip into my savings account to pay for what I wanted to pay for. So I'm counting February as a success before I even tell you what happened. It's a success because turns out I did not have to dip into my savings at all. And I was still able to stretch, rearrange some things, reshift some things, and make everything happen that I wanted to happen. I am doing the Dave Ramsey zero-based budget plan. And that's basically the fact that you're going to look at what you're going to make for the month. This first column right here is what I projected I would make and what would be coming out. The second column here is the actuals. Things in pink mean I did better. Things in blue mean I did not stay on task, or I don't even know if there's a such thing as a task, but it turned out to be higher than what I projected. Also, in these numbers here, I projected I was going to bring in $9,020 in income. And what I brought in was $9,197 in income. The awesome thing about this number is it was $375 short of what I projected. So $375 of money that I thought I would be getting here, I did not get. And I still made more than I projected. So that was almost like a miracle. Oh, one of the things I did, because, there came a point in a month where I set a goal. I said, you know what? I don't want to go into my savings account. And yeah, I still want to kind of pay for what I said I was going to pay for without dipping into savings. So as I was watching a lot of people's YouTube videos, I kept hearing a few people mention MTurk. I can't remember. I think Budget Girl was one of them. One of the people I follow, Budget Girl, she mentioned MTurk. She even kind of showed us how she MTurks. And a few other people mentioned that they brought in extra money by doing MTurks. So, of course, I Googled it. I was like, what's MTurks? I Googled it, and turned out it's like Amazon Mechanical Technical Workers. And it's a thing on Amazon that you can do. And you can do like surveys, you can transcribe videos, you can do a bunch of different little tasks. And you get paid to do the task. Now, you don't get paid a lot of money. You get paid change. You get paid 50 cents here, 75 cents there, a couple of pennies here, 5 cents, dimes, 11 cents, whatever. But it all adds up. So I started MTurk and I got addicted to it because it was like, okay, if I knew I had something I wanted to do, like go out to eat with friends or something, I said, you know what, let me make that amount in MTurks so that I, it became my way to have some extra spending money. So in this right here, $105 came from doing MTurks. 13 days of MTurking. I made $105, and I'm kind of obsessed with it right now. So I said I was going to do $500 in gifts. I end up doing $625 in gifts. I also love that because now that I'm budgeting, it's making me think. And so I started thinking about birthdays and people's birthdays that were coming up. And I started thinking about what I wanted to get them for their birthday. So I had in mind what I wanted to get. And then lo and behold, I seen a sale for what I wanted to get. So I was able to get a bunch of presents in one fell swoop. So in February, I pretty much handled a lot of people's birthday gifts for the rest of the year. So I'm happy with that investment. Mortgage was on track. Homeowner association was on track. The gas, I projected $100 and I ended up paying $10 because I still was owed a credit. So that was cool. Electricity, $250. End up paying $200. One of the changes I made now that I'm thinking, living this budget life, is I lowered my heat. My downstairs heat is now set at 69 degrees and upstairs is 71 degrees. Not quite sure if I'm seeing such a change in my bills because I believe my heat is gas. So not sure if I'm seeing a huge change or anything, but kind of liking the change in my lifestyle. Cable, projected 170. I paid 160. I kind of switched a few things around with my cable internet service as well. I increased my internet speed because I don't know, I was feeling like the speed was lagging, and I decreased. I returned a box. I returned a cable box that was in a spare bedroom not being used, so I returned that. So I'm thinking next month we should see what that is. Cell phone $260, security $55. I paid my rental HOA, which is a one-time fee for the year, so that's $770. That was one of the things that I wasn't sure I was going to meet that goal. That bill's not due to the middle of March, but I was paying it early. But I was able to meet that goal, so I paid the $770. Subscriptions like Netflix and my Abraham Hicks subscriptions, $35. The cleaners, I projected $170. I budgeted $170, only paid $85. And the reason why is this. If you watched one of my previous videos, I talked about how all the forks in my house were taken. They're just gone. They disappeared. I can't say they're stolen. Perhaps Jesus came back and took them. I don't know. But it was probably wrong. Okay. But the bottom line is, so I decided that instead of letting the cleaners come bi-weekly as they normally would, I decided that I will call them when I need them. So I changed that around. I was like, I'm going to call, set up an appointment. I let the guy know my forks disappeared. And I said, and they disappeared the day that the cleaners came. So I said, I want to be home. I don't feel comfortable not being home. And with that being said, I was only home or available to be home with them one time this month. So $85 is what I paid for cleaners. Check-in, $300. I budgeted, only did $65. Check-in, what that means is, what I do, this is like ATM money in the cushion that I keep in my checking account. I do $150 a paycheck. That's why that says $300. This month, turns out that I only needed $65 to bring that number back up to $150 for the entire month. So what that tells me is that checking line item right there, I have some wiggle room. I have some room to play. I'm going to keep it hovering around $150 still, and we'll see. Insurance is $215, and I did pay $500 extra to my mortgage this month. Again, in my last video, I talked about mortgage and how barely, not even $1,000 of what I'm paying. See that $370, not even $1,000 of that goes to my principal. So it really motivated me to want to stick to sending that extra mortgage money there. So I made that goal. Now, these next two line items is what I did not necessarily budget for. Hence, you don't see anything on this side of the sheet. But over here, I'm going to go take a trip to Asia in November. And I decided I wanted to pay for that in February of all months, right? So February, I was like, I want to pay for that trip. Now, I did not meet the goal of paying for that trip entirely because it's $1,700. But I was able to pay $1,440 toward that trip. So in March, I owe I owe $160. The reason why it's only $160 and not $260 is because I had an extra $100 in my checking account still that was able to use to pay for that. So March budget, you'll see that $160 of that is for the Asia trip. What I like is that the trip is going to be paid for, done. February trip is until November. boom, it's paid for. Also this month, we took our trip to Snowshoe. We were there for 4 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a Monday. I'm like all shaking. I'm like on my lap. Like I got this all jinkily set up. I'm on my bed right now. And see, ate dinner, pizza. Woohoo. Yeah, so that's the situation. So we're shaking a little bit. But went to Snowshoe. And I'm out of breath. Like, what's that about? I'm not even doing anything. I'm sitting down. Whew. I gotta go back to the gym. This is crazy. Not even the gym, the yoga studio. Anyways, this number right here, 563, that included our hotel room, rental car, and our lift tickets, and a concert. We went to Snowshoe, West Virginia, and on the night we got there, they happened to be having a concert, a black concert, Nappy Roots, rappers, black people, West Virginia. That doesn't always go together, people. So we were like, yo, we have to go to this concert. Maybe we're going to see other black people. Because a lot of times when you go snowboarding, if it's not an event, you're usually the only one on the mountain of color. Yeah, that's just the way it is. So we wanted to go to do some black people sightings. So yeah, 563. Now, in my budget, I don't ever, so it's not even always, I don't ever budget like the gas, restaurant, and groceries. We go into that blind because I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I can't go to DC today because I don't have gas. I done ran out of, my gas budget. So we just kind of play with that, where my goal is only to just do better, to be conscious with my spending, to be a mindful spender, and maybe look at the previous month before and maybe do better than I did the month before. So with that being said, last month I spent $104 in gas. This month, $66, and that included the gas for the rental car driving to Snowshoe. Last month, I ate $357 in restaurant food. Last month, I went to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, so a lot of that food was eaten in Florida. This month, I only spent $132 in restaurant food, and that included going to Snowshoe, where in the beginning, we had rented a junior suite that was going to have a kitchen in it, and when we got there, they told us that they made a mistake and they did not have the suite available, and they put us in a regular hotel room. They claimed it was an upgrade because they said the hotel was a better hotel or whatever, but it did not have a kitchen or a microwave. So that meant that we end up having to eat at restaurants, but we both were very mindful of our spending and our budget. So we shared food, like we would order one entree and then maybe get us a soup a piece or something like that, so that we didn't spend a whole lot of money eating out. That 132 also includes, I had some friends over at my house and I ordered Chinese for all of us. That included feeding Chinese food to 4 of us, 4 people, Chinese food. So yeah, that was pretty good. $86 in groceries. That is also super, because guess what? I am cooking more. I am cooking like I'm not even hardly ever in my life eating out, which is a huge change for me, because I used to be like, oh, I'm single, so if I eat out, it costs me the same to eat out as it costs me to cook, blah, 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 blah. But I have been being strategic. I have been meal planning. I have been looking at my pantry and planning meals around what I already had. And so yeah, $86 in groceries, and that included real meals. $271 to credit cards. That's a little off too, because if you look at these numbers, you're going to realize that 91, 97, and then if you subtract all of this, it does not equal 0. Even though in my real life it did equal 0, you're just going to have to trust me on this. So what I think it's $129 that I'm missing. So I probably forgot something here. So it's $129 that I'm missing. So just throw that in this credit card thing. Because the bottom line is, in real life, my budget equaled 0 at the end of the day. And in real life, all my bills are paid. and all my credit cards have a zero balance. So everything really did work out. I just don't know what I forgot, and I just was not about to go and figure it out. So credit cards was my extra spending, like miscellaneous stuff. Like for instance, this month, my house was super, super needy. It needed everything. It needed light bulbs, filters for the refrigerator, toilet paper, napkins, forks that we did not get it. It's going to still need forks. Maybe I'll break down and buy forks this month. Not dish detergent, soap powder. It just needed everything. So that's that $271, and plus like facial lotion. Oh, my nephews and nieces are coming in March, which I'm actually going to have them on the budget, because normally I live a YOLO lifestyle, especially when they come. It's like YOLO, we doing whatever we want to do. And I got like 9 of them suckers. But I think, how many's coming? I think 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 of them are coming in March. We usually have like a great time for Easter. We do Easter egg hunts. We do like a bunch of stuff. So basically I already spent $50 on them here, because I paid to have them do a nighttime flashlight Easter egg hunt. So I enrolled them in that. And yeah, so that's what credit card stuff was spent on. It's just miscellaneous. And then also that last line right there, you see that I had said I was going to put $1,700 in savings. I knew that was a lie when I said it, because I knew that I was going to be paying for Asia, and I knew I was going to be going to Snowshoe, and then I knew I kind of didn't want to touch my savings account, even though last month I had moved the money I set aside for that into my savings. So that money's still there. I did not touch my savings account, and even with all of that, I was still able to put $200 in my savings account. So that was my February review. Again, I had a great time in February. I had a great time snowboarding. I had a great time with friends. I think we did 2 Star Trek parties this month. This also included, I went and I seen Alvin Ailey at the Kennedy Center. So that included that, and that ticket was $110. Yeah, not cheap. But I'm a big fan of Alvin Ailey, so normally year after year we go and see their performance when they come to the DC area. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm super happy and super pleased with the way my money was distributed. Again, I am debt free minus the home. So I do have a huge goal. I do fantasize about the day when my mortgage will be paid off, which will probably be no time soon. But it is a fun fantasy of mine right now. And I am trying to stash away as much money as possible, because I do want to retire one day. So I am trying to be a little more responsible with my spending. And that's all I have for you. This is probably going to be super shaky, but that's because I'm holding this in my hand and I'm on my lap and I'm breathing all heavy. Probably because I just ate that pizza. But that's it. Talk to you guys soon. The next video should be the March budget projections. Peace.